My brother collapsed at my father's funeral and whispered a name nobody in our family had ever heard before. He was standing at the podium delivering the eulogy when it happened. Mid-sentence, his voice cut out. He grabbed the podium with both hands. I thought he was overcome with grief. We all did. Then he said a woman's name, Clara, quietly enough that only the front rows heard, and his legs went out from under him. People rushed forward. Someone called for an ambulance. In all the chaos, I watched a woman in the back row stand up and walk out without looking back. I didn't know anyone named Clara. My brother recovered. Mild vasovagal episode, the paramedic said. Stress, grief, standing too long, nothing serious. But at the reception afterward, he pulled me into the kitchen and wouldn't look at me directly. He asked me how much I actually knew about Dad. I told him I knew plenty. 34 years of plenty. He shook his head and said, there was someone else. He'd found out 8 months ago. He'd been handling Dad's finances after the first diagnosis and found a secondary account, small deposits over 22 years, consistent, like clockwork. He traced it. A woman in Portland. He never told me, never told Mom. He'd been carrying it alone. And when he saw her sitting in the back row of the church uninvited, something in his body just gave out. I asked him how he knew it was her. He said Dad kept one photo, tucked inside an old field manual on the third shelf of his office. He'd found it months ago. He recognized her face the moment she stood up. I drove home that night in complete silence. My husband talked. I couldn't hear him. 3 days later, I flew to Portland. I told my husband it was for work. I don't know why I lied. I think I needed it to be mine before it became ours. I found her through the name on the account records my brother had shared. She wasn't hiding. She answered the door in a cardigan with a coffee mug in her hand, and when she saw my face, she knew immediately who I was. She said I looked exactly like him. She invited me in without me asking. Her home was quiet and clean. No photos of my father anywhere, which I'd half expected and half dreaded. She sat across from me at her kitchen table and folded her hands and waited. I asked her how long. 26 years, she said. They'd met at a conference before I was born, broken it off, then found their way back when I was about 2. She wasn't proud. She said that clearly, without prompting. She also said she'd loved him, and she wasn't going to pretend otherwise to make me feel better. I asked if there were children. She shook her head. No, just them. Then she got up and came back with a shoebox. Inside were letters, hundreds of them, handwritten, dated across 3 decades. She said she'd debated burning them after he died, decided she couldn't. She pushed the box toward me and said I could take them or leave them, and she would understand either way. I sat at her table for 2 hours, reading letters my father had written to another woman while he was raising me. He was funny in them, tender. He wrote about me sometimes, about my brother, about being proud of us in ways he apparently found easier to say to her than to us. That part nearly destroyed me. I took the box. On the flight home, I read every letter. By the time we landed, I had stopped being angry at the woman in Portland. She hadn't made my father into someone with a secret. He'd done that himself. What I keep coming back to is this. The man in those letters loved his children. He was also a man who lied for 26 years to everyone who trusted him. Both of those things are completely true, and I have no idea how to hold them at the same time. I haven't told my mother. My brother and I talk about it every few weeks and still haven't decided if we will. I still have the box. It's in my closet behind winter coats. I open it sometimes and I close it again. I don't know what I'm waiting for.